Namaste, Libra. This is going to be a monthly reading for you. I decided to do a monthly instead of a bi-weekly because of all the problems that I have with YouTube and the shadow banning and the bullshit and whatnot. If you're on my Facebook, you know that today I posted a screenshot of YouTube acknowledging that my page is all screwed up. So, yeah, that's what's going on. On top of the work that I do, because despite it all, and what else is going on in the world, COVID, pandemic, and all this kind of stuff, I am very busy. I have a lot of clients, for which I'm very thankful. So, but on top of stuff that doesn't work just for the sake of not working or because of underlying spiritual warfare and whatnot, I don't always get to do all of the zodiac readings that I want to do, like, one for every sign and stuff like that. So, with the bi-weeklies, it comes back around so quickly that I have to do another one, and I'm always so involved. So I decided to do a monthly because I didn't want to just not do one. So we're going to get started with this monthly, and beginning with you because it's your month, Libra, birthday month. And you've been having such really good readings with me, or your energy's been coming through so wonderfully for me the past 2-3 times, for which I read for you. So I think this is going to be possibly the best of all, because it's a typical thing for the cards to be in your favor, like in your birthday month or your birthday period. So I hope that is the case for you. Happy birthday to you all, especially you first deacons that are just celebrating right now, as I'm recording and uploading this. So like I said, we're beginning with the Eight of Pentacles, which is a card about reaping what you've sown and putting effort toward what you want, to receive in your life. It's part of the law of attraction that, and in prayer, like if you believe in prayer and stuff, in the scriptures, that prayer without works is dead, is what the scripture says. It means that we, yes, ask the universe, ask God for what you want, but then you got to take some sort of action too. And that's at least to hold the focused intention on that thing that you want, which is the same way that manifestation and law of attraction work, right? You want something, you keep positive thoughts on it, until you actually receive it. So this is the work part, the action part that's going into that. And this is for any and every area of your life. In the general sense, this is what it's about, in terms of work. It can be about a new position or increase or something, but it's going to take some sort of extra effort from you, and you putting your best foot forward. If you're applying for a job or a promotion, or a transfer or something like that, you making sure that your best attributes are showing toward, those who will be doing the recruiting. Also, if you get a new job, you've been looking for a new job, you get a new job, which is very possible with this card, during this period. It's going to be a demanding one, very likely. It's going to require a lot of you, actual work. So be ready for that. And if you are currently employed, it's possible that, and not looking for anything necessarily further than that, but it's still possible that you'll find a bunch of work on your desk that you will be able to accomplish. But again, it's going to take effort. It's not going to just happen. In terms of relationships, whether romantic or friendships that you want to maintain, or familiar relationships that you want to stay close to people, but it is typically, when you talk about love with the Eight of Pentacles, work could be taking your attention away from relationships, or that your partner or the people you're dealing with, that could be happening with them, that their work is somehow distracting them from relationships or not leaving time or something. So of course, if you are talking about a romantic relationship or any kind of relationship that you want to salvage and keep going, you are going to have to try to find some time, some balance, make an effort to spend some time together, to reach out, to talk to these people, let them know you care about them, text, call, whatever it takes. The next card is in reverse, but it is the Seven of Pentacles. So I'm going to say that this means, especially with the natural progression in the same suit, and this being in reverse, as if we've already done the waiting part. This is saying the wait is over. This is where you were doing the sowing. And again, this is where you are reaping what you've sown. So now I'll do a little shuffling in front of you, opening first to the Two of Cups. In reverse, again, that can be about a partnership or relationship where you are not on the same page with the other person. And maybe that's because work is pulling one or both of you away from being able to, communicate and stay on the same page like this. Now, I opened it opposite the King of Wands, who is most directly a Sagittarius, but can be an Aries or a Leo or someone likened to the traits and attributes of a fire sign. And that may be, with whom you have this relationship. Might be a fire sign specifically in your life that you are not on the same page with right now. And again, if you want to be, you want happy home, you want joy, contentment, peace in your household, or just home is where the heart is. So in your heart, then you may want to find balance in your life and make time for the people that surround you. I'll do one more. And it's the Nine of Swords in reverse. So I didn't mention, I also opened to the Eight of Swords in reverse twice. So those are good signs too. Again, getting over some sort of fear and or anxiety, maybe approaching a situation and or person. Okay. And it's probably you who had the fear and or anxiety, with it being the suit of swords and your energy as a Libra. Unless you're dealing with another air sign, which is of course possible. I'm a Gemini. I was married to a Gemini for 20 years. Those types of things happen. Anyway, coming now to the Four of Pentacles upright, which is a card for me about not just holding on too tightly to something, but having a living situation or relationship, a job or something where you are not happy and still holding on to it because that's easier than letting it go. Maybe that's what the anxiety and fear were about. It's easier to stay with the devil or in the job or even if it sucks, to all hell, at least I get a paycheck. Even if this relationship is, emotionally draining and abusive, at least he pays half the mortgage. Like, those are not real reasons to stay in a situation that is hurting you, that is making you unhappy. And life is both too long and too short to be unhappy. So this is calling for you to let go of those fears, let go of any inhibitions or ideologies or mindsets that are holding you back in your life, in whatever area it may be for you. And this is another card that talks about maybe realizing that for yourself and beginning to come out of that space of, oh, woe is me, wallowing in self-pity and disappointment and pessimism and lack of faith and all that, and moving into a better space where maybe you can deal with these kind of situations that have been weighing on you. Five of Cups in reverse in terms of your finances. I want to mention, since this is Pentacles and can definitely be about finances specifically too, is saying that that a recent period of difficulty in that area has come to an end or is coming to an end during this period. Now I just want to get the stands, so give me a sec. Put the cards on these stands so you can see them clearer as I describe what they mean. I'm going to pull one for the energy that will most directly represent you during this time, one for surrounding energy, close friends, family members, co-workers, something at the job, whatever, one for work and finance specifically, and one for love and relationships specifically. So again, the first one, beginning with the Four of Pentacles upright, turning it around in front of you, is this card, and this is the one most directly representing you. And it goes totally with what I was just saying about, coming to a place where you're realizing I can get myself out of this situation, and I'm not trapped. I realize that I don't want to be here, and I can remove myself out of whatever the situation is, again, in your life, possibly involving a Capricorn specifically, or may have been tied to some of the planets. Maybe they were in retrograde in Capricorn, impacting you somehow. Those would be Saturn itself, Capricorn's ruler, as well as Pluto and Jupiter. Surrounding energy, Judgment. which is one of my favorite cards, actually, about abundance that is earned. Represents the planet Pluto, which is one of those planets that's been retrograde in Capricorn. I believe Pluto goes direct during this month, actually. So that's interesting. It's about abundance that it's earned. In relationships, it can be about second chances, second time around. Anything in your life, really, it can be about second time around, second chances. And in relationships also, specifically, like coming to some sort of crossroad and deciding once and for all, like, where do we go from here, if anywhere? And some people will decide to keep on going down the path together, and some people decide it's the end of the road and they'll part ways, and that'll be the end of that. All right. Work and finance. This is your energy as an air sign. It is the Page of Swords. So receiving some sort of news, again, maybe about a job you applied for, or some sort of increase you're looking for, some sort of news. And lastly, love and relationship. The Two of Wands. Wow. So in the tarot, the Two of Wands is the divine union or twin flame or soulmate card of the tarot. Just want to make sure everything's in frame here. Looks like it is. So let's go. We're going to go back to the Four of Pentacles for a second. Because in a general sense, the Pentacles can be, or this card specifically, can be about anxiety and fear, which will tie into what we've already seen with the 8 and 9 of Swords in reverse. But this would be anxiety and fear specifically about money, and or maybe like our job or whatever makes us feel a sense of security and or stability. And that very well aligns with the Page of Swords here in your position of work and finance. I'm already jumping around. I like to go in order, but whatever, we're there. So one of the things the Page of Swords can be about is like some sort of conflict, maybe specifically at your work that arises. It's going to be important for you to like stay like calm and cool, level-headed, and make sure that you're on top of your work so that you can respond like appropriately. Be careful with things like contracts and of putting yourself like down and belittling yourself, which would tie into judgment too, in any kind of way. Make sure that you feel comfortable standing your ground, and the way that you will be able to feel comfortable standing your ground is by having your work in order. With specific to finances, as opposed to work on its own, a situation may arise where you may need to like seek the help of some sort of expert or something with regard to money, like a financial advisor, in terms of something that arises in your situation. And I already gave you the other positive meanings. It could be about some sort of new pages bring news, and this one, Page of Swords, specifically brings information to you. So you could be getting some sort of information, although I would advise you to be careful or cautious with contracts. I don't know if I said that already or not. And the reason I'm saying you may need a financial advisor, I didn't make it clear, is because you also have Judgment and the Devil here. And the Devil in reverse can be about the need to dig deeper and to get into something on a deeper level, more than just the superficial. So you may be dealing with money matters, your account balance or whatever, or something that's going on in a situation with you involving finances, whether it's taxes or I don't know, there's so much going on, unemployment papers and things that people are dealing with these days with COVID and stuff, bills maybe associated to healthcare or to something, to whatever, something that's mounting that you need help sorting through and sorting out. That being on the surface is not going to be good enough. And that's what this talks about, is that there's more to the situation than meets the eye. It could be very much in your favor. Again, with Judgment upright, it is one of my favorite cards because it's about the abundance and reward coming to us based on our either our actual physical labors down here on this plane, or the universe is rewarding us through some sort of ascension or whatever. But it as above, so below. So it manifests and materializes in some form down here. And the form that it manifests and materializes for you could be in the form of information you need, again, to get yourself out of a situation that somebody or something has sort of involved you in at work, and or in your own personal life, a financial situation. They may send you the aid of a financial advisor or somebody that you can talk to that can help you to go a little deeper into what's going on beneath the surface in those situations. And that may be all you need to get by, right, to get through it. But to go back to the Four of Pentacles itself, the key is to realize that being anxious and fearful like doesn't bring security. That doesn't help us. In fact, it can cause us to manifest negativity into our own lives, because the way that to do proper manifestation and proper prayer is, again, to keep a focus, positive intention on what it is we do want in our lives. Because we can just as easily bring negativity in by focusing on what we don't want and what's not good. So be careful of that. Moving on to the Devil, the card that most directly represents us, I started to talk about what he means already. It's digging deeper into a situation. Something may not be as it appears, and certainly not as bad as it seems. Like, it might seem like something that's awful and scary and oh no, but the Devil in reverse is saying, nah, it's not really that bad. And again, if anybody can get yourself out of this situation, you can. It also talks about being calm and cool about some things. So that obviously that's the opposite of being anxious, and taking, like one step at a time, breathing in and out and taking one step at a time, and just approaching life, from the perspective of the universe is not going to let me down. If I remain positive, I'm going to get what's out there and available in the universe to work for me in a positive way and to help me to be successful. And you approach life that way, then that's how it'll be. Don't look at it as necessarily a negative card, especially when it comes up in reverse, because it could just be helping you to be more decisive and to check things out before panicking and stuff like that in your life. And again, with this sitting next to Judgment, in that regard, because Judgment for me is about abundance and positivity coming to you, it's definitely no need, to worry or to be panicked about the situation. It could look bad, but it shouldn't be as bad as it is, as bad as it may appear, and perhaps not bad at all, especially not in love. If you think something's bad in that area, not with the Two of Wands upright. So talking more specifically about Judgment itself, it can be about jumping to conclusions and being presumptuous, and that would lead to paranoia, right, and panic. So it's saying don't do that, and not to be judgmental about anybody. This is surrounding areas. So be careful about being discriminatory toward or judgmental towards your friends and family and romantic interests and or partners, and any negative emotions and feelings that you may be harboring, like guilt and blame and the inability to forgive and regret and resentment and all of this thing. None of this stuff is conducive to your growth. Try to let go of all of it. In terms of work, though, Judgment can mean that you're being watched very closely. So that may be what brings about conflict. Again, this is surrounding energy, so it could be somebody else close to you that's being watched, that somehow you're affected by it. Maybe you're working on a joint or a group project. Somebody else's appearance weighs on you somehow, or like I said, you may be involved in part of a partnership. This is Major Arcana card 20, so twos are about partnership and joint ventures. But whatever the case, like I said about these other cards, what Judgment says specifically about work is that, yes, you may be being watched and you got to put in extra effort and make sure you're putting your best foot forward. But the news that comes to you is likely to be very good if you've been doing that. If you've been doing your best and making an effort, they're going to pay off. Judgment is a card about something paying off. Abundance that we've earned. We did the work for it, so now we've earned the rewards or awards, rewards, promotions, ascension, being uplifted and somehow recognized publicly or whatever it is, appreciate it. We've earned it. So, Now going back to the Page of Swords, I think I pretty much covered him, but I don't remember if I said that the Page of Swords can also, in a general sense, be about somebody that's like trying too hard or pushing too fast. So that maybe that's what causes a conflict for you, for those of you who experience one. And sometimes it can help to also like study or look at, pay attention to the body language of others that we're dealing with, and put that with consider those things with the words, and which goes back to maybe going a little bit deeper. So not just what you're saying, but how you're behaving also, I'm going to consider. And so maybe that will help me from jumping to a conclusion and being presumptuous. Maybe that'll give me the information that I need about you. Tell me all I need to know. And lastly, the Two of Wands, again, in love is about, it's very much tied to like a similar energy as your own. Justice is about equity and equality, doing the right thing. And that is what the Two of Wands is largely about in love too. It can be about really being swept off your feet in love, but more importantly, it's about things getting way more equal and fair and balanced and equitable in your relationships as they grow and expand and get stronger and get better. If you're single and looking for love, then somebody like, very good for you, like matched for you in terms of balance, you balance each other out, or you equal each other out, could definitely be not only right around the corner for you, but somebody that's already part of your life. So this encourages you to like not necessarily judge a book by its cover, again, to go deeper, and look below. Don't be superficial, or try not to, and look below the surface and see what this person has to offer you, because this could really be the relationship that you've been looking for. And again, not just the relationship you've been looking for, but a soulmate relationship, a divine union, a twin flame relationship, according to the meaning in the tarot, the traditional meaning. So I wanted to, since I'm doing a month-long reading, I wanted to also use my fortune teller cards for you, since I'm reading you fortunes for a whole month. And with those, I'm starting with birth. Universal energy brings you opportunity and possibility. I think that this might be because it's your birthday. Could definitely be about new things in your life, including like a brand new you, growth, expansion that comes from ascension, maybe brought on by the judgment energy, or again, new relationships or new phase in your relationship where it's moved into a more mature and positive place. We are growing together. We are expanding together. We're becoming pregnant with the relationship. It's really growing. Could be literal, actual pregnancy, somebody learning that they're pregnant, becoming pregnant, or a good time for you to try to become pregnant if that's something that you've been wanting to do and haven't had necessarily, the outcome that you had hoped for. Second chances with judgment also. And opening to celebrations. Okay, so celebrating positive things, maybe like a baby, learning that you're pregnant, or something new in your life, growth and expansion and newness in your life. You're ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. Celebrations. And sometimes for that, we have to also have an ending, right? In order for birth or for newness, something has to come to an end. And we should just allow those things to come to an end and not try to hold on to them and, stifle ourselves in the process. Natural endings abound. Take care with your health. Being unhappy, miserable maybe in a situation is unhealthy for you. So it helps for you to allow those things to end. I'll do one more. And it's mountain. Know that you're protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. Cautious, not paranoid. And believe me, I know how it is to be an air sign and overthink everything, and that translates to anxiety and paranoia. I get it. All right, we're back to coffin as your overall energy. And I'm going to pull one card for each area, the same way I did here. So the card most directly representing you this month is Dragonfly. Have confidence during this time of great joy, renewal, and connection to spirit. I mean, this is great joy. Again, this is the month of your birth. Renewal. You've come full circle around the sun to this, so it's a renewal and connection to spirit. Absolutely. Surrounding energy, close friends, family members, co-workers involving you. Eagle. You will soar towards your destiny with greater clarity and strength. Why? You've been ascended. Here you are ascended as an eagle into the air, just like judgment does. Because it's a indication that the universe is rewarding us by uplifting us. And then that will manifest somehow down here in our lives. Work and finance, Page of Swords. Star. Hard times are over. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. Right. You've been thinking positive. You've been praying. This is all about prayers being answered, wishes being granted, dreams coming true. So if you have been working on manifesting something in terms of your job or your finances, boom, this month it wants to happen for you. Star can also represent the sign of Aquarius, fellow air sign Aquarius in the tarot, and the eagle is also representative of air energy as well, like your own, as well as that of Aquarius and Gemini. I'd say this dragonfly is very earth, but so is the devil, right? The devil is most directly Capricorn, but could be connected to Taurus and Virgo as well if you're looking at signs. And lastly, love and relationship for you guys. It's a very similar card to Star. Your heart's desire, how perfect for that is love, is ready to come true. So if you've been hoping for a soulmate, a twin flame, a divine union, that may very well be what you have. This is another like two wands, and they're connected at the top, right, in the form of this wishbone. Hope you guys have enjoyed your reading. I'll be back next month. Namaste.